Still looking to earn your invite for the free Players Championship? Visit ppgeventmanagement.com to learn about the different qualifiers available. From one-day events to play-on-your-own schedule events, all events offer a buyback or cash option along with a 100% credit option redeemable towards any future pre-order at competitive prices. Grinding and getting paid to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Has never been easier. Play with the most professional worldwide tournament series today and join the online community. Come join us on Discord for assistance, info, and even discussions about future events.
And welcome back. We are here, round 5 of the PPG Players Championship, capping off Season 2 of the Pro Play Games online tournaments. I am Jacob, also known as Mambo YuGiOh from Team Mambo, joined today by Stevie Blunder, and we're seeing Machina right off the bat.
Yeah, Machina is one of the most, it's one of those old archetypes that's always had a very powerful in-mechanic, in-archetype resource loops, but that resource loop would be very outdated in, like, even 2010. But with the introduction of the new structure deck, it has a lot of power plays that it can do with things like other machine decks. Most importantly, Orcust, which is very nice.
A saying that I kind of came up with a long time ago, most machine archetypes is, machine archetypes either die rogue or live long enough to become an engine in Orcust.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. And we're pretty much going to get to see why, as we are now special summoning out the Metal Cruncher. And a fun fact about Metal Cruncher, this card can search Scrap Recycler.
Yeah, it's honestly like insane. Metal Cruncher is just like a free special within the Machina archetype. And I think this sets up like a free Apollo, like on its own. A free 4-material Appaloosa if you want. But most importantly, it sets up your Orcust monsters because non-hard once per turn sending is very fun. But interesting. Do they have to be different names?
No, actually you can't pick same names, but maybe they already opened a Scrap Recycler. There you go.
Yeah, it's looking like that. Siphon Gear Gamma coming down. Quite unfortunate, actually.
Fastest Gamma I've ever seen.
Fastest Gamma in the West.
Yeah, that was locked and loaded. Normally the Scrap Recycler, we all know how good that is in Orcust, but in particular, it can really extend to allow... You can end on things such as the Union Carrier equipping the Buster Destruction of the Destruction Sword, or whatever that one is, to a long Gearsu that is co-linked, so it can't be destroyed by card effects. And fortunately, Monster Reborn is still very good.
Yeah, Monster Reborn is I honestly feel like Monster Reborn is like one of those cards that can come back to 3. Like, it's like that's my hot take, but like, I think it can come back to 3. Like, it doesn't really do too much on its own.
I don't know. It's the lack of a hard once per turn scares me. I would hate to be like, stop a play, Monster Reborn, and it's also like, oh, that sucks. You stopped the play. All right, Monster Reborn. It's like, God.
Yeah, but it's sort of like the same logic with like Adamancipator cutting like signs, because like a lot of builds they don't run Adamancipator signs anymore because usually when you're trying to get your plays started, like if you get interrupted very early on, it's like sure it sucks. Like if you get like Monster Reborn like a normal play starter like Scrap Recycler, but that's only like an incidental synergy. Like an Adamancipator, you really need those you really need like the specific hands to just dig yourself out of. Otherwise, like you're just sitting with like a sign in your hand. Like sure, you can reborn a Researcher, but outside of that, you're not really doing much.
Good point. I don't know. I think Monster Reborn is a good example of a card that it'll always be good. Certain decks will always value the extender, as we see here. The Scrap Wyvern, unfortunately, the worst part is thanks to that extender, they get into the entire scrap play. And since there now were cards on board, the Gamma and the Driver summoning themselves, that means the Scrap Wyvern gets to stay on board.
Yeah, definitely. Really just popping off at this point. He's got Lib. He's honestly got everything. Being able to play through this one disruption is very nice. I think he can actually maybe end on VFD.
We'll see what they opt for. They have, this is just the raw power that, in particular, the Machina engine brings to Orcust in particular. Now, naturally, this has mostly been done off the back of Monster Reborn, but this more or less would have been largely the same combo, minus the Scrap Wyvern there. if there had been no interaction.
Yeah, definitely really being able to just honestly just showcase the power of just old cards in new decks of incidental synergies. Just scrap recycler, scrap golem, just really showing us what it could do. And the Appaloosa is going to be coming out, insulating us from further plays. What? Going to be shuffling back the driver. It's actually, yeah, it's a bit of a misplay in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I was thinking it when they did the play, it was smart to pop the Gamma as opposed to the driver off the scrap wyvern, since Gamma can summon driver back from the graveyard, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And so that actually does turn Gamma back on. Now, in a crazy scenario, Gamma is not once per turn. So what if they have another?
Looks like he's going to be chaining Baby Sarah and Baby Sarah in Lost World, and it looks like they're just probably going to go to a game 2. Yeah, really tough open, but not really sure why he showed his hand in the first place. But maybe they, I'm pretty sure they just know each other.
Could be. And we've seen a lot in these PPG events where most people that tend to frequent these events do tend to stick onto the same deck. But yeah, I still feel like there's no reason to reveal that info game 1. That yeah, here's what I'm playing.
Yeah, it's like a lot of questionable decisions coming out. But
yeah, because just seeing Gamma, you can't really infer a whole lot of info. Generally, decks that like to go second tend to gravitate towards Gamma. That's about the only assumption you can make there.
Yeah, but maybe emergency teleport decks summoning out Gamma, which is a thing, by the way, for some reason.
Yeah.
It's a tuner. Make Halka Fibrax in a different format.
My favorite is seeing the decks that will... I love the Assault Mode engine in decks, but we haven't seen that really catch on much in the TCG here.
It's super consistent, but it's just like the boss monster design has just gone out the window in terms of like you can sit on your Stardust Assault Mode and kind of just win the game, to honestly just like set up a bunch of not super boss monsters, but just big monsters with negates on them.
What's funny is you can actually just make generic synchros with the Assault Mode engine. You can actually make Moral Savage and all those guys as well.
Yeah, but at that point, you're sort of just wondering how much investment am I doing this outside of just normal summon Jet Synchron.
That's very true. Yeah, I suppose in the TCG we have a little bit of extra freedom.
Yeah. That's the problem with rogue decks, or decks that are outside of tier 1, where it's if you aren't playing meta, your deck better be doing something unfair.
I guess that's kind of where we see a lot of decks in the PPG format, where they are allowed to, in a little bit of a lower power level, we're getting to see people like Software come on with Unchained and absolutely run the table right now, as they are still sitting at XO. We saw an Invoked Nemesis deck that was doing quite well today. We've seen a lot of cool stuff in these last few weeks for sure, as we're now sort of capping off this little experiment here this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Non-Befrakion is, honestly, he's just got the reins on his plays. He's got Miscellaneous Auras active. He's got Pills. He's got Giant Rexes. He's got Overraptors. He's popping babies.
Yeah, we're getting to see Dino in its full power here. Most likely going to see an end on the sort of the go-to build these days, the Simorg Bird of Destiny, Evil's Dolka, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, then of course getting the Stormwind of Barrier statues off of that Simorg link, since for some reason they made that card a Wing Beast.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm just wondering what went through Konami's mind when they made Simorg, because what do you think people are gonna try to summon off of this?
I suppose, yeah, I don't know. Those generic links that summon from deck have tended to be fairly problematic over the last couple years.
I don't think there's I really don't like the design of extra deck cards that interact with the main deck in a significant way outside of in archetype stuff. If it's summoned if Simorg summoned a Simorg, that's completely fine.
Sure.
But,
yeah, I don't know what the Simorg archetype even does.
I'm not gonna pretend either. All I know is that there's a funny soft block you can do with Dark Simorg and Anti-Spell.
True. That's an old school. That's like before me.
Yeah.
We actually see a little bit of a variation here. We ended up on Secure Gardener, I guess, supposedly to load the graveyard with fuel for the double evolution pill, but still get to flex into an Abyss Dweller, which is still a card that has just been very good for how many years now?
Raigeki! The best card. And Miscellaneous Source come down.
It's a good save here. You'll lose the Abyss Dweller, but it is applying its effect. And honestly, the Secure Gardener, you're not too bent out of shape out of that one, leaving.
Urgent Schedule 2, wow. Urgent Schedule is a one-card Scrap Wyvern, actually. So, little do you know.
Interesting here. Fun fact, Scrap Recycler is a when you can, so it will miss timing here. As the Chainlink will resolve Urgent Schedule, drops Fortress and Scrap Recycler, resolve Misk, resolve Raigeki, and since Scrap Recycler, last thing to happen was not it hitting the board, it will miss timing.
Its effects are actually negated, so it wouldn't even matter, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
A fun fact, because I've definitely lost a lot of games in practice where I'm like, Scrap Recycler misses timing, because you can, if you summon it off of the Scrap Wyvern, you'll miss the timing.
Yeah, definitely.
Pop a card.
Yeah, this is definitely a children's card game. Try to teach a kid Yang Zing rulings.
Oh, Lord.
So if I activate 9 pillars and you chain bottomless. So it looks like
bringing back some memories on that one, sure. I once missed out on a top at a regional because I had to take a draw because I played Ritual Beast versus Yang Zing. Not a very fun matchup for either player.
Ooh, that's not. It's very rough.
I had to resolve Steeds 3 times and run them out of their once per turn effects.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. We're going to see a little bit more of a play here, though.
Yeah, going into main phase 2, that Scrap Wyvern is going to be able to pop that UCT now that Miscellaneous Taurus is no longer active because it only protects for the main phase. Looks like he's just... Looks like Non-Perfection's just debating whether or not he's going to chain UCT, and not really too much of a point, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose flipping the Golem face down can prevent any extensions past that, but at the same time, you'd be losing your last card in hand, and it might be very important, which it's not all lost here. You do still have Miscellaneous Saurus. Giant Rex is also in the graveyard, so assuming you don't get locked out of the extra deck, which might be where they're going here. So Apollo is also on the table here as well.
Yeah, this Orcust player's got everything, to be honest. And even if he did chain UCT, because UCT would be Chainlink 2, it wouldn't really be it wouldn't be booking anything, unfortunately.
Yeah. Funnily enough, we saw the Raigeki here, and you mentioned a certain card going back to 3. I'll let you in on a little tip. The Orcust Machina deck plays 3 Dark Hole in the main.
Dark Hole, Raigeki, those...
Yeah, well...
Dark Hole is at 3, and that card sees no play. It's so surprising.
It is funny to kind of see a card that is as good, not really as good, but as generically powerful as Dark Hole at 3, and people... Now Lightning Storm has that flexibility, even though technically it has more restrictions. I mean, not even technically, it just has more restrictions.
Yeah, but when was the last time so many people like trying to play around like Lightning Storm for attack mode monsters? It's pretty refreshing by just like summoning their monsters in like defense mode when they're building their board.
Ironically, that is what Farkion did here, or non. Yeah, what they did here is they summoned all their monsters in defense position, but then the original Lightning Bolt comes down.
Good old Raigeki. Saving everyone from the playground format.
This is actually just impressive at this point. We saw Scrap Wyvern and Machina Fortress was re-special summoned by discarding a World Bond. Then we just decided to link 4 right into Apollo. And now we're still going because we still have Machina redeployment. And it's just extenders upon extenders at this point. World Legacy Succession set off the lib now. And this is probably just going to end up being game. If you get into Dingirsu, you have 32, 57, 26. Yeah, I would do it.
This is just main phase 2, by the way. But honestly,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
you have to run some stuff over.
that's true. I did forget about that. But at the same time here, I suppose I could try and save myself and say, well, this is basically a game anyway. But no, good catch there. As I totally forgot that they did have to go to battle to get around the protection of miscellaneous source in that main phase 1.
Yeah, looks like he's just gonna be sitting on the ding, not trying to go for any like IP plays. But no IP, no Babel, surprisingly.
Yeah, that is interesting, I suppose, as there is, they do have a symbol skeleton graveyard, so assuming that Dingirsu gets outed, that could have been a very, very realistic play to then, in their opponent's main phase 2, to reestablish your board using the symbol skeleton, but you do have the 3 material Apollo. You are going to be able to negate this miscellaneous source, and if you really want, you can stop the Giant Rex as well and keep it completely out of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Apollo's just gonna be negating all these banished effects. And yeah, normal sum Soul Eating Overraptor. Likely that's gonna get negated unless he's got the miscellaneous Saurus in hand, but after that, even if Overraptor tries to attack over, Dingirsu just protects it, and he's got a completely loaded graveyard.
Oh yeah, this is completely stacked at this point. And it's crazy that Dingirsu can just protect if a card.
Yeah. I remember when I was like playing True Draco against like Orcust, I was just like, I cannot out this thing. And it's too many protects.
Yeah, that matchup was very dependent on how good you were at resolving a Monarch's Erupt, and there can be only one.
Yeah. Like, I would just... Sorry?
We get to really see why the Machine Engine has sort of found its way into the Orcust deck. We've seen this Fortress come back 3 or 4 times now, and really just act as an extender more than anything.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like gonna go into the Galatea, and he does have the symbol engraved, so he could just bring back that ding, send that Overraptor to grave, and maybe even just go to like an access code.
Ooh.
It's up there.
Yeah, Ding can remove that final back row card.
Yeah, I was looking like the...
A little late, I don't know. But the call by...
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm pretty sure he's just going to be using the call by on the symbol target, which is likely Ding.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he did anything else. Now, well, symbol does target, okay.
Yeah.
Actually banishing the World Wand.
Huh, interesting.
And yeah, it doesn't miss timing or anything, so there you go.
Very, very tough position to be in if you're Barfakion. Not too much you can do. Maybe he could bring out a... Like if Orcust is trying to end the game, is there a way he can bring out a Citadel from grave?
Something would need to be destroyed. A machine-type monster, I believe. Earth machine monster specifically is destroyed by battle or card effect, but at this point it looks like they're just going to play the long con here. They still have one more shot with Apollo. They're going to set the crescendo, and then of course they still have... Now this... They actually have plenty of fuel. Now, this World Wand is being currently negated by Called by the Grave, but they still, more or less, this is just still a stacked graveyard.
Yeah, Orcust doesn't have to worry about anything. Just gonna be normal summoning Ash Blossom. What? Longirsu? Yeah, maybe just Longirsu for the extra damage. Oh wait, it's access code. There we go. There's a guy.
Access code was just a touch short of
Nah, that's an Apollo for 4.
3. Oh, it's the Link 4. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen that one before. Well played. Deck locked.
Yeah. Very interesting tech. Yeah.
Still looking to earn your invite for the...
Hey everyone! If you're enjoying the coverage of the Pro Play Tour Online series, just remember, you can play in one yourself. Every Thursday you can enter our free weekly 64-player tournament with invites to the entire Top Cut. Every Saturday is our weekend championship, where you can enter a YCS-type event with 100% payout and even a cash payout option. The more players, the bigger the prizes. Can't commit time to play in our one-day events? We also host multiple 8-man pods daily, ready to fire on demand on your own schedule. All these events award invites to our free invite-only Players Championship with prizes supplied by our sponsors. For more information, visit ppgeventmanagement.com and come play with the pros.